All right, top of the morning, top of the evening, top of the night, whatever time zone you are on, we are live. Hello, everybody. A moment of silence for all those who have lost their lives. Let's remember this: is we can get up, we can get up. If we can get up, we can go up. With that being said, let's get into this. Um, Billionaires making bank. We're gonna get off into this. Can we talk? Can we talk? Can we really talk? I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Can we reason together? Let's reason together. Can we reason? Is that all right tonight? Uh, since March to September the 20th, they done made $1 trillion altogether. Oh my goodness. Let's get off into this. Let's get some music and let's get started. Let's get off into this tonight. Hopefully everybody's been doing the best that they can in the situation that they are in. But let's remember, you look up, you get up, you go up, keep it moving. And they got paid. They been getting paid. The wealthy people getting paid during the pandemic. I want to know how much money everybody else get. All right, let's get off into this. Again, hello to the bypassers, onlookers, regular supporters, bush watchers, and the like bypassers. Let's get to this music and let's get off into this. Let's go. Let's get started.
Hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Just move on up toward your destination. Though you may find from time to time complications. Hush now, child, and don't cry. Your folks might understand you by and by. Move on up and keep on wishing. Remember, your dream is your only scheme, so keep on pushing. Take nothing less than the supreme best. Do not obey rumors people say, but you can pass the test. Just move on up to a greater day. With just a little faith, if you put your mind to it, you can surely do it.
Gotta love it.
Just move on up. Move
That's not the right icon on there. Let me do this real quick. Yeah. Let's get that icon switched over real quick. Thought I uploaded it. Put the music in the bottom. Let's switch the icon over. Let's do that. We're going to get off into the news. To other people, when you get here, you can always play it back, pause it, stop it, freeze it, get the sections of information that you want. You already know how I do. I'm going to keep it going with the information. Whether people have gotten their notifications or not. And it is so unfortunate, YouTube, that we are back to these shenanigans. Come on, YouTube. Pull it up. Bring it up. What I'm doing in the background right now is getting ready to change my icon image because it is not correct. Let me put the real icon image up there. Not have me frozen. All right, come on, YouTube. Let's get to this. Let's get to this. Streaming health. Yeah, I'm live. Let's change this thumbnail in real time. Let's do some real time. Let's do some real time work. Show me my thumbnail. Show me my thumbnail. I'm just waiting till my thumbnail upload. Come on, YouTube. Must it really take this long for a thumbnail to upload? What is it? 8 minutes and 47 seconds? Live stream health is on green. All right. I'm watching myself from the YouTube perspective, in a YouTube view right now too, by the way. They're delayed. They're behind Zoom. All right. What I'm doing in the background really quick is, again, switching my thumbnail to this live. And I'm waiting, while we talking about this, because we're going to get off into this money tonight. You know, I have charts and graphs. Google Meet. Guess what you can do on Google Meets now? You can blur your background. For Google Meets, you can now view. You have options. You can blur your backgrounds if you're going live on Google Meet. All right, my thumbnail has updated. Very good, very good. Audience will see it in a moment. Very good, very good. I can get off of this. Get off of this. And we can go off into this. Good. All right. Let me refresh my browser real quick on this so I can see. There it is. Thank you, Google. There it is. Doing some real-time work tonight. Had to update that background. Okay. All right. There it is. Everybody should see the new icon now. That's what I was doing in the background. Thank you for your patience. I was changing my icon image to the appropriate one. Now we can get off into this. All right. Let's talk about where this money is at. Again, YouTube. Y'all a little mad. You're not sending my notifications out. You're going to blame it on the AI, artificial intelligence. That don't even fly over here. Anyway, all right. So let's go. Let's reason together. Can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. The rich got richer. COVID-19, 2020. They walked away with $1 trillion. How much money are you walking away with? Combined, they got $1 trillion richer. Wealthier. Let me not say rich. Let me say wealthier. They're $1 trillion wealthier. How much did you get from COVID-19? How much money did you make? Don't answer the question for real. I'm just saying. So let's remember to do what's at the bottom. Vote. All right. Let us reason together. I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Lions Den mode tonight. Some viewers may find the content graphic or disturbing. Viewers' discretion is advised, and I should change that in real time too and put viewers and not views. Discretion is advised. COVID-19 cases are going back up in the United States of America. Now, good news is you are still alive. You can look up, you can get up, you can get up, you can go up. Negative news is 200,000 people in the United States have died from COVID-19. This is about right, comparing and contrasting Spanish flu to this pandemic. September, the numbers of deaths started going back up. The numbers of cases of the Spanish flu started going back up 102 years ago. Well, flashback. 102 years ago, September to December. September starts our quote unquote regular flu season over here. And in addition to the regular flu season, coronavirus is doing what it does. Being a Grim Reaper, killing people. All right, Lions Den. Like I said, we're not going to play. So let's fast forward. 2020 September. Cases are rising again. Oh my goodness. It's a flashback. PBS owns the content of this video footage that's being shown. This video footage is being shown for educational
People didn't want to
purposes.
believe that they could be healthy in the
YouTube.
morning and dead by nightfall. They didn't want to believe that.
It was the worst epidemic this country has ever known. It killed more Americans than all the wars this century
My.
combined.
It was a phantom, and we didn't know where it was.
In a gradual,
We
remorseless
know where
way,
it's
it
at.
kept
It's in
moving
the
closer and
atmosphere. It's on
closer.
surfaces.
But you never knew
It's
from day
people.
to day who was going to be next on the death list.
There were so many people dying that you ran out of things that
Come
you never
on, where we
considered
are.
running out of before. Caskets.
Where are we today?
Before
Come
it was
on.
over, it almost broke America apart.
I remember my mother putting a white sheet, a white piece of cloth over his face, and they closed the casket.
At least they got masks on. Mandated. Passed legally in the US, by the way.
In 1918, the United States was a vigorous young nation, leading the world into the modern age.
Now we looking like a third world country.
All our fears and anxieties were directed toward Europe, where the war raged.
Let me get past that part. Let's just
Must have known
that candy didn't grow on that
Okay,
tree.
she's happy.
But
Let's
I
move
wouldn't
on
have given up. I spied Kaiser at the door, and we'll get a lemon
Lady.
pie, and we'll squash him in his eye, and there
Whatever.
won't be any
Okay.
Kaiser
No
anymore.
disrespect or whatever. I mean, I know they telling their testimonies and going through history, but let's get to the comparison.
For over a century, the booming science of medicine had gone from one triumph to another. Researchers had developed vaccines for many diseases. Smallpox, anthrax, rabies, diphtheria,
Yellow fever.
meningitis.
With the great advances in microbiology, we were eliminating mysteries, okay? The mystery of what causes this disease, the mystery of what causes this disease. The optimism of being able to visualize something, all we have to do is just look under the microscope and we'll see the organism and then take an action and see that something die off or be controlled. That leads to the thought of invincibility.
It seemed that the masters of medicine could control life and death.
They can't.
There was nothing that Americans couldn't do. We could even win the war that no one could win. That summer and fall, over 1.5 million Americans crossed the Atlantic for war. But some of those doughboys came from Kansas, and they'd brought something with
Spanish flu.
them, a tiny, silent companion.
That's right.
Almost immediately, the Kansas sickness resurfaced in Europe. American soldiers got sick. English soldiers, French, German. As it spread, the microbe mutated.
That's why
Day
don't
by
nobody
day,
be trying to hear what
becoming
America be
more
saying
and
right
more
now when
deadly.
it comes to this pandemic.
By the time the silent traveler came
Spanish
back to
flu.
America,
Flashback.
it had become a relentless killer. On a rainy day in September, Dr. Victor Vaughn, acting Surgeon General of the Army, received urgent orders. Proceed to a base near Boston called Camp Devens. Devens was about to change Dr. Vaughn's world
Because
forever.
everybody was down in there dying.
I saw hundreds of young, stalwart men in uniform coming into the wards of the hospital.
Dead. Just dead.
Every bed was full, yet others crowded in. The faces wore a bluish cast. A cough brought up the
All right.
bloodstains.
Okay. That's the Spanish flu flashback. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Bottom line is, 102 years ago, September through December, cases of Spanish flu in the United States rose. Right now, September, sounds about right. COVID-19 cases rising. Vaccine, we don't have one. Vaccine, they're attempting to push something out prematurely. Bottom line is, the president was lying then, and people who were reporting in the United States accurate news as it pertained to the Spanish flu 102 years ago were being arrested, harassed, assaulted, put in jail and things like that. Fast forward, we have a lying Pinocchio in the White House, number 45, always lying. He moved his lips, he's lying. We don't have a vaccine for the Spanish flu. I mean, for COVID-19. We don't have no vaccine for that. They playing around. They still trying to figure stuff out. There is no cure medically unless you have great faith and believe in healing. And you better have some serious faith for COVID-19 right now. All right. Cases back on the rise. Let's get to it. I don't have time to play. Hey, Mac. Hey, there you go, Mac. Mac, you have been tremendously missed. There you go. All right. How you doing? Hopefully everything is all right with you. Most of the U.S. is headed in the wrong direction. Again, this was CNN reporting yesterday, but we know as of today, we basically at 200,000 deaths, COVID-19. I'm not getting ready to play with it. So we headed in the wrong directions. I really want to get to the Johns Hopkins University. You know, they've been tracking the data as well as Google, as well as others, when this silly administration decided to do what they do and told the Centers of Disease Control whatever they told them. Johns Hopkins continued to track in real time as much as possible, as well as Google, as well as other universities and tech companies. All right, so here we go. Fast forward, COVID-19, 22 cases going back up September. All right, only 4 states, Delaware, Hawaii, Louisiana, and Michigan, have had decreases of more than 10%. So I live in Michigan. Our governor here, Gretchen Whitmer, extended the emergency order until October. So here in our state, I don't know what everybody else is doing, we had a decrease, as well as the attorney general here revoking some licenses and shutting some businesses down, as well as some judges here doing the same thing, like taking your license, like suspending your license and getting injunctions to shut your facility down if you are not following what's deemed to be best practices here. So we're the only 4 states that have not have seen 10% decrease in COVID-19 cases, even though we still got COVID-19 cases. All right, 15 states are holding steady: Alaska, Arkansas, California, Georgia, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio. Ohio, y'all got a fool down up in there. Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Virginia, Washington. We already know Florida got a Looney Tune for governor. My opinion, my perspective, based on his actions and what he had fallen from his lips.
Hey there, I'm Daniel Dale. I'm a CNN fact-check reporter.
Okay.
President Donald Trump
CNN
keeps denying that he said
reporter.
or did
I don't
things.
need you talking in the background. Hush. All right. So some states are steady, and other states just is going up. 25 states. 25 states in the US. That's half. We only got 50 cases going up. Shucks. Oh, I've been good, Matt. Hopefully you've been all right. You're missing in action. We know when you don't be down in the chat. Okay, and I'm not laughing because cases are going back up in the US. I'm laughing because I'm talking about. All right. But let me get back on this. So 20,000 people dead in the United States from COVID-19. We are almost at 7 million confirmed cases of COVID-19. And somebody been making big bank. Big bank been taking little bank. The takers have been profiting. Now, I would like to know who else almost made $1 trillion, close to $1 trillion during this pandemic, other than the wealthy in the United States of America. So that $1 trillion they made off of COVID-19, they need to go ahead and get that back. Matter of fact, gonna do it like this. You can put 40%. We're gonna do a 60-40 deal. You put 40% to U.S. citizens, put that in that account, U.S. citizens account, which does not include the wealthy or the rich. Okay, put that over there. Put that 60% into the reparations account. Oh my goodness, this the lion's den tonight. Let me move on. I said that. All right, let's get to these updates real quick because I got updates down there too. Democrats, we in a pandemic. Independents, we in a pandemic. Republicans, you're cynical Republicans. Because every Republican is not senseless. We in a pandemic. But let's hear what Michael Steele got to say to the Democratic Party. He said basically, me paraphrasing my own words, quit playing and come out and fight. You ain't got time for games. Not only are we in a pandemic, you got an impeached liar in the White House, an impeached thieving liar in the White House, who's tied up, tangled up, twisted up, and wrapped all up in some pornography and some allegations of underage sex trafficking as well. That's what it's going to lead to. Now, my no nonsense news section, when I go back there, when I do the next live on no nonsense news, I'm going to go there. But that's for that time. Right now, let's listen to Michael Steele. Oh, you said you've been good. You have just been avoiding YouTube drama. Well, you know I don't like drama over here. I will say what I have to say and block you. And if you come back with drama, you know what I will do. Some people play with channels. I like to go ahead and shut the channel down and file my formal complaint. I like to have paperwork as much as possible. Business is business. It's over here. It's business. It's the business of getting information out and helping people. All right, let's hear what Michael Steele had to say. Remember, Michael Steele, the Republican chairman that won them the Senate, when he was the chairman, this is what he had to say to y'all Democrats. Stop playing, basically.
They say at a certain age you just stop caring.
Subscribe.
I wonder what age that
my
is.
YouTube ad
Simply
blocker.
ageless with hyaluronic complex. Clamps and hydrates for your best skin at
When I
any
get off
age.
here
From
tonight,
easy,
I will
breezy, beautiful cover girl.
getting the ad blocker back on. I am not supporting.
During the Democratic primary, I asked a very direct and straightforward question of the Democratic Party.
That's right.
Do you want to be woke or do you want to win? So that meant think through who you want to be your nominee. And given everything that has occurred and that has been playing out and now is in front of you, the question I have for the Democrats are you built for this? Are you ready to do what you need to do between now and January 20th? Because this isn't just about November 3rd.
Come on.
As Joe pointed out, as Susan pointed out, this is about a process that will unfold between now and when the next president puts his hand on the Bible and takes the oath. So are you built for this? Because if you're not ready to play this, I've been saying it from the very beginning, this is an asymmetrical game we're in. This is not conventional politics. Stop treating Donald Trump as if he's an actual president of the United States. He is not. He's playing one on TV. Literally. His actions speak to that. And so if you're not ready to engage.
Let me pull it back from a Republican who was the Republican chair that helped them get the Senate years ago. You heard what he said when he said what he said. He is not a legitimate president. He's an actor, a thief, a criminal, and a crook. Also an impeached president. Stop playing. Thank you. Now, Democrats, if you a Democrat down in the, don't get salty. This the Lions Den. You know I'm a roar tonight. Don't get salty. Receive the information and utilize it accordingly. Stop playing is what he's saying. The same thing most people have been screaming. Stop playing. Stop letting them run game. Cut them shenanigans off. Stop all that foolishness. Go in there and fight. Under no uncertain terms do you give up any ground. That careless act was a sham. That other stuff y'all up in there compromising, that's a sham. When you go in and negotiate, you don't negotiate your deal away, what you bring into the table away, and walk away with nothing. Some people think in negotiation is a give. No, it's not. If I'm coming in and negotiating, you're not taking everything that I'm bringing to the table, I'm walking away. Simple. No deal. It is what it is. Wash my hands, walk away. See, in Congress, they've been sitting up playing a game where you got to give a little. No, because as soon as you give a little, they're going to take the miles. And on the Republican side, they've not been legislating anything that has been advantageous for the working class people. They've been legislating everything for wealthy people. Oh, we're going to get there tonight. Because I told you a few minutes ago, let me not say I told you because I'm talking to adults here. As I just explained a few minutes ago, they got $1 trillion from March to September. They sitting on $1 trillion. And that's not even what they borrow, but they sitting on $1 trillion. What everybody else sitting on? Outside their doorstep. Let me roar tonight. This the Lions Den. Let me pull it back what Michael Steele just said. Do you want to win? And do you want to be woke? You need to be woke and win. Democrats, stop playing games. Stop being wetback noodles. Yeah. I need to take this segment and send it to some Congress people again and say, play this over and over daily. Quit playing. Again, in negotiation, you don't have to give up nothing. If you don't like the deal, you wash your hands and you walk away. That's why the American people been losing and getting legislated under the table. And that's why the Democrats been losing too. You have allowed a greedy, selfish party to legislate your heads as well as the American people heads to the white meat. Quit playing. Let me pull it back. Come on, Michael Steele. It's a reason why he took the Senate. He's a strategist. He helped them take the House, helped them take the Senate and pick off some House seats too. Republican, Michael Steele. Say it again, bro.
President of the United States. He is not. He's playing one on TV.
Literally.
His actions speak to that.
Right.
And so if you're not ready to engage against McConnell, against Lindsey Graham, because let me tell you what happens. Graham and McConnell come back to the Senate. Donald Trump goes back to the White House. It's game, set, match, baby.
Oh,
there's no stopping
game over.
Anything. So if you're not built to do what you need to do between now and January 20th, then stand down and let someone else step in because there's too much on the line.
And so, Michael, you just said, are you built for this? And why you're saying that, I find very interesting because you took part in a role play exercise that was done about a month or two ago, where you and a bipartisan group of people sort of war gamed what could happen from election day through transition?
Yes.
And what were some of the, and you were clearly on the Republican side, so what were the things you guys did to really jack things up?
Well, it was a little bit of what we see playing out now. It was how you respond to what the Trump administration does. So if Trump decides on the night of November 3rd to come out when the polls are barely closed and announces that he's the winner, and that the rest of the count is a fraudulent effort to deny him the White House, what do you do? If Trump comes out during the process and takes steps to impose some form of martial law, to intimidate voters at the ballot box, what do you do? So you've got to look at the next 45 days and then the period after that, between then and the inauguration, as an exercise of wargaming. How do you strategically respond? And so now you've got this new dice that's been thrown. You've got a Supreme Court seat that's open. You've got Lindsey Graham, who's who's flip-flop. I don't know why people are surprised about that. Why would you take him at his word? I mean, dude's working with Trump. So, all of a sudden everybody's running around going, oh my God, oh my God. No, settle it down and focus on the mission in front of you.
What's your objective?
What is your next asymmetrical play? What are you prepared to do? And those are the things we were kind of looking at throughout task force to figure out the various angles from the judiciary, legislatively, the Congress, as well as, the states, the secretaries of states and the roles that they play in trying to get the vote out and done. So there are a lot of pieces here. And the Democratic Party has got to be built for this. You can't go back. You can't go through this cycle like you went through 2000 and not understand what the clock is telling you, not understand what the politics are telling you.
Right. Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel.
A Boehner, what? AM Joy? The only Joy we support over here that we know of is some other people name might be Joy too, is Joy Chit Chat. She usually you watch him, so you can't shout yourself out. Let's move on to the next slide. I'm not even playing. To all the Joys that watch. Right. You're right, Matt. The Democrats have got to stop being mamsy-pamsy and stop acting like they weak and don't have no spine. Because they've been out-strategized, unfortunately. They act like, you come out here, no, I will be roaring. That's what Ted Kennedy did when he was in the Congress. He roared. That means he spoke with authority. Not only did he speak with authority, he stood his ground. That's why they called him the Lion when he was in the Senate. What the rest of the lions at up there? This is lion den fashion tonight. I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Can we reason together? Can we reason together? Can we reason together tonight? Can we talk? Can we really talk? Is it all right if we reason together? In my United Kingdom voice, okay? Judges, we're gonna get to the money. At the beginning, I said they took a trillion. They walked away with $1 trillion. The wealthy people made $1 trillion. I got graphs up here. I got my graphs up here. They walked away with $1 trillion. Big bank been taking little bank during this pandemic. Let's get to this update right here. I had to work Michael Steele in because he's talking strategy. He's a strategist. I don't care if he's in the Republican Party. A strategist is a strategist, and he knows how to strategize. Simple. Democrats, you've allowed yourself to be out-strategized. Independents, y'all need to get your heads out of your derrieres too, because I claim myself as an independent and do what you do too for the few that rep independent. The few. All right, judge say. The judge is stepping up and they saying, look, Pinocchio, word for our Pinocchio, always lying on the news and in the White House, everywhere you go. No, you will not be banning WeChat. By the way, Oracle mixed with Wall Street was supposed to acquire TikTok, but Beijing said, not so fast, USA. Not so fast. Hold up. We got something for you. But let's get to this. Judge is stopping Trump. They said, no, we don't know who you playing with. You can play that up there on the hill in the White House. But that mess don't fly in this court. All right. Basically, court blocks Trump WeChat ban from taking effect today. This was yesterday. As we mentioned in the No Nonsense News. Now I'm saying it in the regular informative live that TikTok was supposed to be banned on Sunday, as well as WeChat. The judge said, block. Who you playing with? The judges said, no. We're going to need you to sit down. Have several seats. We're going to need you to sit down somewhere. Sit it all the way down. We got this. Make sure you use your privilege to vote. Judges matter. So a federal judge in California put a temporary halt on the White House efforts to ban WeChat inside the United States, preventing the ban from going into effect at midnight tonight. And like I said yesterday, Sunday was supposed to be banned. Judge said, block, stop, drop, and roll. Stop, dropping, back up. Slow your roll, cool pimping. Slow your roll. All right. Another federal court in Nevada. Trump campaign efforts to stop the mail ballot. Now, we saw what the other judge put the temporary injunction on him. Again, Nevada judge said, keep the mail flowing. Uh-oh, that didn't show up. All right. Wrong link. But anyway, federal judge court rejects Trump campaign effort to stop Nevada's mail-in ballot. So we got stopped. Okay, the link didn't show up. Hey, Mika. Laid back demonstrates. Oh, are you talking about Democrats? Probably. That's some of you talking about. All right, let's get to this COVID cash. Where did COVID-19 cash? Now, remember, this was just the millionaires, including Kanye West, including the aviation billionaire, including a couple of millionaires. This is how much money that they borrowed from personal loan protection. Now, this was just the money that they borrowed. Okay, this is what they got. This what they borrowed. Remember that. Remember that. Remember we did that live. Some of you who are frequent over here, remember that. And we put up our chart. Amount of PPL takers, we called them the takers. Let's flash back real quick. Clay and Lacey Aviation, they got 37%. Jim Justice, Governor Jim, 2% out of the total pie just amongst themselves. Okay, these 6 amongst themselves. That's how much. Let me go back a page. These 6 businesses or people: Soho House, Jet, Lennox Aviation, Joe Farrell, Kanye West. Just these 6 people amongst themselves. Just how much of personal protection loan money they got from COVID-19. Just what they borrowed. Just these 5. Just these 6. Excuse me. Just these 6. This was the alleged loan they have, and I've said alleged loan because remember, the way that they wrote that bill up in the Careless Act was, it's called the CARES Act to some, but in the Careless Act was, they don't necessarily got to pay the money back. I'll say it again. They don't necessarily have to pay that money back. Just the 6 of them That's how much they got. Okay. We said we watching the cash, right? While everybody else out here is screaming and hollering, they cantankerous going back and forth over a few pennies, a couple of dollars, couple of thousand. The wealthy people then walked away with $1 trillion. You better wake up. By the way, since universities and businesses, hackers are holding their systems at ransomware, if I have to walk into one of these corporations and unlock anything from them that has been held up due to a ransomware, I guarantee you, I'm charging you $1 million every half hour. That means it's going to be $2 million per hour for me to show up to unlock anything if a hacker get y'all anything with y'all greedy self. So, no. Go for who you know, because usually with the security, real security have to come in and they're going to charge the money. The hackers have been walking away with money too while I'm right here. Let me pause for a minute because they've been holding systems over here, ransomware, for ransom. Like pay up and we'll unlock it. You don't pay up, we're not unlocking nothing. And by the way, you're going to give us what we asked for. So I'm very serious. If I said somebody called me, it's going to be $1 million an hour, and that depends on the company it is. The more you have, the more I will charge for every half hour. All right. So we saw it on here. We saw what it just was trending upward. We had Clay Lacey, Jim Justice, who was Governor Jim Justice, Joe Farrell, Kanye West, Soho House, Jet Lennox. Okay. And I added Viber Grants on here, Maverick Gaming. I added some. Remember we added on to see who was getting the money, who was borrowing what, who was allowed to borrow what. Remember, we watching the money, right? We want to know where the coronavirus money went, right? We want to know who's been making all the money, right? We want to know, we want to see who's been profiting, right? Well, I'm showing you who's been profiting. The rich and the super wealthy. The rich, the wealthy, and the super wealthy. While everybody else has been out here screaming and hollering, some being put out of homes, being put out of residence. If you got a governor with if you live in a state with a Looney Tune governor, having things repossessed, having the food snatched right out of their kids' mouth and the clothes yanked off their back down to the socks and the underwear. But everybody should have known that Careless Act was no good anyway. Mitch McConnell co-legislated that. So you want to know what's been happening to the money and where it's been going? Here it is. Hey, Letha. Hey, Lee. Oh, you said laid back Democrats, Mika? Okay. No. COVID-19 cash, the billionaires. And Letha, I got that text. I'm going to work what you sent me into the No Nonsense News. Mac, I'm still working on get it started. Here it is. You want to know who got the money? Before I even pull this chart up that I'm going to go to, the billionaires got $1 trillion. They got $1 trillion wealthy. Let me go here real quick. Let's go. Let me break this down. People want to know where the money at. in the United States, the money is still in wealthy people's hands. The money is still in their bank accounts and being left in trust funds to their kids and whomever ever, their families and grandkids and lineages to come. That's where it's at. So we want to know where the money is going, where the money has gone to, and where the money went during this pandemic, right in the banks of the wealthy, where it was before it started. Mac, you said you canceling anybody that tried to defend Kanye West. Well, this is what I have to say about Kanye West. Let me pause for a minute and veer off for a minute. He was never crazy, but that's been mentioned over here. I said Kanye West ain't crazy. He know how to grab headlines. He knows how to get the attention that he wants. I said he was an attention harlot. He ain't crazy. When people come out defending it, I said he's too fluent in business to be crazy. He knows how to market. When he comes out and he does that stuff, marketing strategy. So let me go back to COVID-19 cash, the wealthy, the billionaires. They got wealthier. Okay. Well, everybody else got laid off from their jobs. Most of everybody else was getting laid off from their job. Matter of fact, some of them was probably even doing some layoffs. Big bank taking little bank. Big bank has been growing even bigger bank. The purple represents the net worth of the individuals and their businesses 2019. So in the purple, that's for the year February 8th, 2019. That's where they was at. Now, little aqua, greenish blue color is the net worth, their net worth, March 2020. Okay, March 18, 2020. The yellow represents real-time worth in millions. September the 15th, 2020. The green represents wealth growth from March 18th, 2020 to September 15th this year, 2020. When pandemic was declared, well, pandemic, we was already forewarned in 2019. That's why it's called COVID 2019. By December and January, you heard the lion Pinocchio admit that he knew in that Woodward audio when he was being interviewed. And he wanted to play it down. But anyway, the wealthy people, Jeff, that's Amazon. Bill Gates, that's Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg, that's Facebook. Elon Musk, we know that's Tesla. Warren Buffett, telecommunications and the investments. Okay. Larry Ellison, that's Oracle. Oracle, the one who was allowed to maybe acquire TikTok. We'll see. You know, they being too premature because Beijing like hold up for a minute. Steve Ballmer, that's Microsoft. Okay. Sergey, we know that's Google. Larry Page, we know that's Google. Alice Walton, we know that's Walmart. Jim Walton, we know that's Walmart. Rob Walton, we know that's Walmart. Mackenzie Scott is Amazon. So, what you see when you're looking at the cash on here, that's millions. Everything you see with a number on here we talking about millions, okay? We're talking about millions. So people want to know where the money went. Take a look. I said, let us reason together. Can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. We need to start acquiring the cash that they got. Let us reason together. And for employees, if this is your employer is the one that's getting paid. Do not be on your, excuse me, let me give a little bit of advice, Kerensz style, Lion's Den style. Don't be on your job going back and forth with nobody. You ain't making enough to go back and forth with nobody on your job. You're not making the billions that your employer is making or the multi-millions. Don't be going back and forth on your job, stressing yourself out. For what? Let us reason together. Big bank making big bank taking little bank. And when your employer lay you off or fire you or terminate you or whatever, they got billions. They ain't thinking about you. Stop going back and forth with your coworkers unless they all up in your space trying to tell you what to do. Also, stop acting like you got ownership in the company you work for and you don't. Oh, let me say it again. Stop acting like you have ownership. Well, I got some stock in the company. And who is allowed, because this Lion's Den style, let me roar for a minute. Who's allowed to utilize the capital from the company? Is it you or is it the owner? Let me ask the question again, since you got stock in your company. Oh my goodness, some people gonna be a little upset when they play this back, but I don't care. It's Lion's Den style today. Who's using the capital? The corporation or the business you work for. Are you utilizing the capital for the company you work for, or is the one who owns the business utilizing the capital, the company that you work for? Well. Big bank take little bank. Big bank invest little bank money. Big bank profit off little bank. Right. All about the money, Mac. It's all about the money. It's that green, mean green. Okay. Now I'm laughing, but it ain't funny. Oh, I have to say it again. Some people get so tied up, tangled up, wrapped up, twisted up in the business that they work for. Nobody's telling you to go in and half do a job. Never that. And not work with integrity. Never that. But what I did just say was, don't be on the job going back and forth with people and think you the cream dollar crumb of the cream dollar crumb on your in your job that you're working for somebody else. Go there and work in excellence and keep it moving till you start your own stuff on the side. Because if you can't be excellent working up under somebody, you're not gonna be excellent when you start your own business. So go work in excellence and move on. But don't ever get it twisted. Big bank at the top is utilizing little bank money. That means they invest in your stock money and getting the interest off that. Don't play. Just thought the people should know. Just thought the people should know. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let us talk. Can we reason together? Can we reason together? Can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. If you contract yourself in for any one of these corporations, make sure you're getting paid. You see what they making. negotiate yourself in at the top. And don't take no for an answer. And if they say, well, okay, well then, have a nice day. Bye. Business is business. Don't let them undertalk you and talk you about it. When I say game your profits, try to lowball you, but want you to do all that work. I said, if you contract yourself in to any one of these organizations, big bank been taking little bank and playing with little bank money. All right. You want to know where the COVID-19 money is at? Here it is. You want to know who's been profiting the most? Here they go. You want to know who's been borrowing the most? I just showed you the wealthy people. That's right. That's right. Did you get to borrow 700 million from the government? Your business during this pandemic? The Joy did. Post Office General, the ex one that's got to have a hearing and may be impeached. He did. Oh, Steve Mnuchin. Yeah, we can make some billionaires mad. And you're right, Letha. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And people need to stop wrongly negotiating their time, their talents, and their treasures out to corporations and walking away with just the watch or walking away with just a bag. You didn't work for this corporation for 25, 15, however many years, and all you get is a bag or watch when you retire. Stop playing. Don't play with me. I did not come to play. But then you say, I got my pension. Really? Because really, every employer in the United States can afford to pay you 3 times as much as you're getting paid today, some 4. I said, let us reason together. Let us reason together. Can we talk? Can we really talk? Let me say it again because some people missed it. Your employer can afford to pay you while you're working for these corporations 3 times as much as you're making, some 4 times as much as you're making per hour. Do the math. And pay that insurance premium for you. I said, can we reason together? Can we talk? Can we really talk? This is where the COVID-19 money is, in the pockets of the wealthy. This is where the loans went to, the wealthy. Not only did the wealthy acquire loans, they made cash to the tune of total all their money up together, $1 trillion. Oh my goodness. And that's not all of the wealthy people that was on the list, by the way. That was just a few. This is just few. I keep adding it up. The money gonna keep going up. There's just few of them. Just few of them made a trip. From March to September. And we're not even gonna talk about the tax breaks because that's not in here. That's not included in here. We're not going to talk about the tax breaks because I didn't include that in this list. That's just the profits that they made. Minus any tax breaks. Yeah, Letha. I said, let us reason together. Can we talk? Where everybody else out here doing whatever, you better watch the money. You watch the money, you find the corruption. You watch the money, you find how deep the rabbit hole goes. You watch the money, you find out who paid off and who's in whose pocket. You watch the money, you find the real corruption. Better pay attention. And Steve Mnuchin was crooked before he got in there, and he's crooked now. Remember, Steve Mnuchin, the one that, okay, this is who Pinocchio number 45 brought into the White House. Newsflash for the people who want to always support Trump and bag Trump and try to defend Trump. What he brought with him was the swamp. The ones who ran the economy in the ground in 2008. That's who's up in there now. Those ones. And so what did you think they were going to do? Deal justly with you? A bunch of thieves, a den of thieves? Quit playing. I said, can we reason together? Can we talk? Can we really talk? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A total of 10. Half of the money. 10 people and their businesses got half of the cash. COVID-19 takers. You know where half of this pie is going to? Just 10 people. Half. 10 people. They didn't got over $1 trillion. March, September. They're wealthier than they were in March. Jim Walton, Alice Walton, Sergey, Larry Page, Larry Ellison, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg with his intellectual thieving derriere, Bill Gates, Jeff, Mr. Amazon, and Steve. Again, Larry Ellison, that's Oracle. Just acquired TikTok if Beijing let it go through. $50% of the wealth is over in their pockets. March to September. They done made over $1 trillion amongst themselves. The billionaires with a B. All right, let me go back. Now let's go back to this. Let's get to this chart. Let's get to this breakdown. Showed you some graphs. Now let's get to this breakdown. Okay, y'all talking about what LeBron James should have done? He should have took 20 billion that Nike made from him. Yeah. Now LeBron James during this pandemic has been given. He's a giver. He's not technically considered a billionaire. Michael Jordan is a billionaire. He's been given too. He also has a health facility. He's had one for years. A lot of people don't know that about him. He's not so open with what he does are so public. But he kind of like to stay in the shadows, behind the scene, and just be funding stuff. But yes, I would like to see the African-American billionaires over here, as well as some other billionaires with heart, come out and give more openly. Like I said, LeBron James and other multimillionaires, they're big givers. You know, they started, Magic Johnson, another wealthy one, they started when the pandemic money didn't pan out for the small mom and pop, the hair salons, the barbershops, and things like that. What they did was they stepped up and started saying, you know what, we'll do the lending. We got it. You know, we're pledging this much. And if we get it back, we get it back. If we don't, we don't, whatever. But this is where the money is. These people who have made the money. Now, let's take a look at this, because again, we have to pay attention. It's a host of things going on. That's just the world. It's always various things going on. That's been since the beginning of time. So we've got to remain as vigilant as we can. I mean, in terms of paying attention to our health, paying attention to what we're voting for and what we're voting on, as well as creating our own legislation or creating our own bills and introducing them state, city, and federal. Because as U.S. citizens, we can't do that. We have to watch the money. We cannot let employers come out here and play a psychological game. You cannot allow Congress people to come out here and continuously play a psychological game on you and get you all worked up on your job or whatever have you going at somebody while they making money and you sitting down there. So many videos when I pop up through my people fighting on jobs and different things like that. And no. Let the employer come do whatever it is they're gonna do, because they want making more money. You got enough money, high security. I'm not going to put my life in jeopardy or in harm's way on anybody's job unless I'm protecting a kid or a senior citizen. Let me say that again. Unless it's a kid or a senior citizen, no. Hire whoever you need to hire, come do whatever they need to do. I said, let us talk. Can we reason together? Now, I've been seeing a lot of people fighting, going back and forth. Cut it. You're not making enough to be sitting up there fighting with nobody. Quit playing. You ain't nothing but a number to them. Stop playing. And I said, can we reason together? Can we talk? Can we really talk? And if you should lose your life because you are nothing but a number to them, they will replace you with another head. Don't play with just another number. Let's not play again. I'm not telling anyone not to function in excellence on their job. You want to do that, especially if you want to have your own business, and that's just good to do anyway. That's called integrity and character and ethics, to flow with excellence on your job, period. But something happened to you, you ain't nothing but a number. They'll replace you. Keep that in your mind. So next time you think you're gonna go on a job, argue with employee, another employee, whatever, diffuse the situation. It ain't even that serious. Unless somebody is threatening you or unless someone is all in your space. And you are responding. That's different. But to be on these jobs, talking about the employer said this, you ain't getting in here if you ain't got no mask on, and fighting for, because people in March, in April, some people in April was getting murdered over masks because you on some Walmart job talking about something. They ain't got no mask on. You trying to fight somebody down? No, let the police come fight them down. Sure. Please. Can we reason together? Let's use some good sense. Yeah. Yeah, Mac, billionaires always profit off other people's labor. Your time, your talent, your treasure, and your labor. Your time, your talent, and your treasure. Your treasure is them allowing to have those tax write-off because you are a head count. You know, some people get a little bit twisted up. Yeah, they get a little bit twisted up. The other day I posted Dr. Shauna, this doctor that's on YouTube, and she deals with relationships. Okay, that's her specialty. One of her specialty, relationships, and she'll come on time to time and she'll talk about issues. And you know, she was just talking about her assessment of reading Martin Luther King's book when he was categorizing specific African American people, and he was breaking down the different types of African American people. And then and this relates to people in general too, but he was specifically talking about African American people. Like he said, the African American person that think they are middle class, and because they are the higher echelon of the middle class, they can have this air about themselves. But when you look at everything in its totality, in terms of wealth over here, and let me pause for a minute and pivot off and talk about this for a minute, and then I'll circle back around to what you see. Let me blow it up so we can see it even more. I want to see it. Okay, that's enough. When we look at wealth over here, even though we have billionaires over here, multimillionaires over here that are African American, we still only have 1% of the wealth, or less than 1% of the total wealth in the United States of America. So that goes back to that age-old question. The African American people over here, holistically, progress, not still being at 1% or less of the America's wealth we have. I don't care how many billionaires or multi-millionaires we have over here. At the end of the day, when you add it all up, African American people still have 1% or less of US wealth. And we put $1 trillion annually into this economy. Don't play. Don't play. So on your middle, on your, you know, your high middle class job or whatever, whatever. So when he was breaking it down and she was explaining it from her perspective, just, you know, preconceived notions, false equivalencies, false positives is what I call them, or false equivalents to the wealth that has been amassed over here in the United States of America. When you start comparing and contrasting. And that's a shame. That's a shame. The ideology of slavery is still working down through the years. That's right. All right, now let me circle back around to where we are, to COVID-19. Who been making all the money? The billionaires. Who been getting all along? The millionaires and the billionaires. Millionaires. I know some multi-millionaires got loans. They have. So here it is. Why millions lost jobs, businesses, health, and life, because we had 200,000 dead now from COVID-19. It's rising again. 25 states numbers are trending up. But flashback to the Spanish flu. September numbers started spiking. Most deaths, Spanish flu, 102 years ago happened September through December and previous years, because people were still dying 3 years later from Spanish flu. Now, million people, health, lives, nations, the nations, 364 richest people saw their collective fortune nearly leap 30%. So 643 people, again, 643 people over here in the United States, wealthy people. Their fortune overall nearly went up 30%. 30%. 643 people. Let me say it again. 643 people out of 330 million people. I don't know where we're at today, really, in terms of the numbers. I would have to look at the lives who were being born as opposed to making the deduction from the COVID-19 losses as well as the other losses. But anyway, 643 people, wealthy people. That's where the money is during this pandemic. They got the money. They wealth jumping. %29%. So you round that up, that is 30%. So the nation's 643 billionaires have racked up $845 billion in collective wealth gains. And again, that number is up to $1 trillion from March to September. That's where they at. That's how much money they didn't got. For March, pay attention now. I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. From March to September. So you have March, April, May, June, July, August, September. They right there at $1 trillion within that 6 to 7 month time frame. That's where they at. 643 people. That don't include you. Don't include me either, because I ain't in the 643. That's what they've accumulated. And yeah. So when they broke it down, September the 15th, the total net worth of the nation billionaires rose from $2.95 trillion to $3.8 trillion. So together, these 643 people have amassed wealth to the tune of $308 trillion. They was at 295 trillion. Now, okay, that's what they sitting on amongst themselves. So basically, when you crunch the numbers, it works out to roughly Let me tell you how much they've been making per month, roughly $141 billion a month. That means they've been taking in, between the 643 of them, $32 billion a week. When you break it down and you do the math, that's what they've been, big bank been taking little bank. So if you think I feel a type of way and I'm on, oh, let the employers, no, I don't. I don't. So when I called it the Careless Act in March, when it passed, and I said I really don't feel a type of way for billionaires getting breaks, I don't. Should they get tax cuts? No. Should they get tax breaks? No. What they need to do is be taxed more and pay them taxes. While we're right here, I need people to keep in mind, I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. Corporations who've been slithering through the last 4 years without paying any taxes, they need to pay their taxes, their federal taxes. Oh, don't play. Don't play. Amazon was one of them. But then they went ahead and paid a little something, but they didn't pay all that they should have paid in federal taxes. Let's not play these games. Delta was another one. You also had some consumer companies, on some energy companies on there sliding through without paying taxes. So you ask me, why people running around trying to pontificate about this one better than this one better than that, I'm voting for this because da-da-da-da-da. You better look at who's getting the money and look at the policy and the legislation. Why other people are stressed out. These billionaires have been basically taking home $4.7 billion per day. Oh, thank you, Letha. Oh, you said pull it back. Okay, let me say it again. Billionaires since March to September have been taking home $140 billion per month, $32 billion per week, $4.7 billion per day. How you been faring during this pandemic? While you sitting up there waiting for Congress to relinquish some of your tax dollars to you. I said, let us reason together. And any congressperson, the first thing they want to do is give big business a tax break. Mitch McConnell, can we reason together? You're not for people, never have been. So when they bring their fascist self out in front of the cameras, you need to shut that stuff down and look at how they've been legislating. Look at the flick of the wrist. See what the pen and the pencil been doing. See what the yes and no's been doing. Who been voting yes, who been voting no? Why is it that anything that goes or should be for the masses of people, when it comes to the Senate, which Mitch McConnell is the majority leader, is dead on arrival? We over 250 bills that's been dead on arrival in the Senate, waiting to be passed. The Democrats passed the HEROES Act in May, but they gave up and conceded everything in this Careless Act, and I said I would not have signed on to this. I would have voted no for this very reason. Let me say it again for the people who missed it. When I said it is nothing in this Careless Act for people, a few lines in, I said, let me skip down a third of the way. Let's get to the nitty gritty and see where the money is going to. Let me just cut to the chase and get right here to this language. All that fancy language, all of those, cut all that and just get straight to the point. Who getting a tax break? What are the clauses in the bill? Who's getting what? Let's get to it. And you got senators and some House of Representatives screaming and hollering because people was getting $600 a week on top of their unemployment, in addition to their regular unemployment. Just $600 a week. $600 a week. Then they only wanted to give you $300. And was screaming and hollering. Now, these are representatives that the people voted for. Your representative, because I'm not voting no representative in like that. Wanted to scream and holler. That's too much money. Hold up. I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Can we talk? Can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. They gave tax breaks to people, billionaires and multimillionaires who are taking home every month 400, who have taken home every month $141 billion during this pandemic, $32 billion a week, and $1.4 billion a day. And they got tax breaks. And some of them got loans. Don't play with me. Can we talk? Can we really talk? But they sent that bill through. And now the Democrats wanted to act astonished when the Republicans said, y'all stuff dead on arrival. Well, Mitch McConnell was in charge over there. He should have been got sent home a long time ago. He's been there since the 80s. Sent his behind home. Kentucky. You knew it was a sham of a bill when you saw sunscreen on page 470. You knew it was a sham. Page 470. The manufacturing and production of sunscreen, which has absolutely nothing to do with an upper respiratory infection or disease or bacteria. You knew it was a sham when Mitch McConnell's name was at the top of it. Legislate. But they voted yes, just to try to get something to the people. No. Should have went with the bill that they were working on. Now, if we do a comparison and contrast against other nations, we really gonna look crazy because other nations have already given their people second rounds of money to the tunes of thousands per month. That's what they've been doing, taking care of their people. Saying if we're gonna legislate, we need to make sure every household is getting X amount of dollars per month. We're in a pandemic. They have needs that need to be met. But where are we? Some people got $1,200, some people did. If you was behind on your child support, you got nothing, not even a loan. And you could have fallen behind during the pandemic. Didn't make a difference. Even though you're a taxpayer. Oh, yeah. Some people got $1,200, some people got less than $1,200. Some kids got $500, some kids got less than $500. Some kids didn't get nothing. Some people still wait. See the psychological game they want to play? I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. And I have people sitting around capitulating about whether or not they're going to vote, vacillating back and forth. of whether or not they are going to push those who have no business and never had any reason to be up there other than to be greedy for their own selfish gain and for their friends out of authority, out of power. That's all they wanted was power and authority, and sit up there and do whatever they wanted to do, and to get all the kickbacks in the world from their buddies. So people, use your privilege to vote. Thought I'd throw that in there. You knew I was going to throw it in there. Come on. All right. Forbes annual Billionaires report was published March the 18th, 2020, and the real-time data was collected September the 15th, 2020, a few days ago. From Forbes again. Now that ought to be a slap across some faces. Newsflash, Americans. Are you taking home every day? Are you making daily $1.7 billion? Working class Americans. Let me ask the question. I said, can we reason together? Can we talk? Can we really talk? Are you taking home $4.7 billion a day? Is that what you're making? Are you taking home $32 billion weekly? Are you pulling in $140 billion monthly? You pause for a minute, say la. Pause and think about that for a minute. Mika, you saying preferential treatment and discrimination? Yeah, Canada stood up a little. Lathan, you said it. If only we could have a spot of tea, Malady. If only we could have a spot of tea, Malady. No disrespect to the UK, pretty much love. But you heard what Thriller Media said when he came on here, and he's from the United Kingdom. There'll be no tea and crumpets around here. That's what he said a couple of months ago when he was on as a guest. There'll be no tea and crumpets around here. So Letha, we're gonna have to cut the tea because Thriller Media told us from the United Kingdom a few months ago there will be no tea and crumpets around here. Whatever that means in England. So we gotta cut the tea. We gotta cut the tea out. There are no tea and crumpets around here. And then John said in the chat one day, we don't do tea. We do coffee. We do strong coffee at that. We adults. No disrespect to the tea drinkers. Carry on as you would. As you would. Okay. So, I said, let us reason together. Can we reason together? Can we talk? Can we really talk? This where the money at. Big bank been taking little bank. Continuously taking little bank. Needless to say, ordinary workers did not fare as well. From March to mid-August, the collective work income of rank and file private sector employees, all hours worked, times, and hourly wages, the entire 82% of the workforce declined by 4.4%. So, Bureau of Labor Statistics, workforce declined by 4.4%. 6.6 million Americans got COVID-19, and it's almost close to 7 million right now because that number's going up. 20,000 people are dead now. They said, oh, we're close to 20,000. No, go, because they've been padding the numbers on that too. When people say they've been padding the numbers, saying more people died than what they did die. No, some were padding the numbers and saying less people died than what actually died from COVID-19. So when they have to pull the bodies back up, if they didn't burn them, they're gonna have to do an accurate assessment and count on the real numbers, because some have been, unfortunately, following silly, the Pinocchio, fat fingering numbers in terms of people who really died from COVID, saying no, they didn't die from COVID, and they did die from COVID. Spanish flu should have taught us not to lie during the pandemic. That's what we should have learned. And when you don't learn from history, it repeats itself. So, unfortunately, because that's just a principle in a universal law, that when you don't learn from history, it repeats itself. The next pandemic the U.S. go through, we should have some stuff together, and telling the truth is one of them. I'm waiting for the facts and not lying. That need to be at the top of the list. Over 50 million Americans lost jobs, with nearly 14 million still unemployed. Now, in the 14 million people that's unemployed, from the 50 million people that lost their jobs, that's not even including the people who were underemployed or people who had given up on looking for employment. So when they run numbers over here, I need them to run numbers accurate. Just thought America should know. Because in the unemployment numbers, they tend to leave out the people who used to be employed, who have been searching for employment years that are no longer employed. They leave that number out. They're still unemployed people. Let's run numbers and data for real. 30 million people are collecting unemployment benefits, including contract workers. That's up from 1.6 million people last year. Unfortunately, nearly 30 million people, Americans, have gone hungry. Why in the world do we have Americans starving, shelterless, clothesless, and you got billionaires over here who then took $1 trillion home, who have taken $1 trillion home from March to September? Why? They taking home $4.7 billion a day. Why is anybody in America going to bed hungry at night? Somebody explain that to me. Explain it. And you can't get sense out of nonsense. So please don't post anything that's nonsensical. Simple. $12 million Americans have lost employee-sponsored health insurance. Well, what did this administration do when he first got in there? Repeal Obamacare, what they call Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act. Where is that being litigated right now? In court. What has the judge been doing? Trying to block them and stopping them on every wind and wave from disbanding that and taking that apart. Now the people who set up and sneered and sheared and said, Obama, now you need it. Now you need it. And for the ones who still want to have their lips flapping, talking about Obama didn't do nothing for nobody, you better hope you don't need it. You better hope your family members don't need it. Because guess what? It's in court now. Guess what this fascist, impeached, thieving criminal did? Repealed parts of the Affordable Care Act, went in to repeal the Affordable Care Act and cut the funding. Now we're in a pandemic. Yeah. What they went after specifically, covering pre-existing conditions. One of the specifics they went after was covering pre-existing conditions. If you got COVID-19 or somebody in your family has had COVID-19, guess what they have now? Guess what that's going to be labeled as? A pre-existing condition. Oh, let's talk. Can we reason together? Can we? Can we talk? Can we really talk? I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? And people are vacillating about whether or not they're going to vote. Some people vacillating about whether. You better look at the law. You better look at what's been going on. Yeah, Mac, we all want those billions. Lethe, what you said, handcuff, whips, and chains, what you talking about? Wait a minute. Oh, well, Mac, we know the statistics. African-American people didn't put him in the White House. Only 9% of African-American people voted for him, if that much, really close to 8-point-something%. We didn't vote for him. Why would we? And he wouldn't even rent to African-American people in the 80s. And he had to be sued. Why would we vote for him? Why would we vote for an actor, a reality TV show actor? For what? People need not insult our intelligence. Some people gonna be a little bit upset, but I don't care. This is the Lion's Den tonight. This morning. We usually, some of us like substance. We like policy. Policy driven strategy. That's usually what we like. Foolishness, no. Now, I don't know any African-American person that was sitting up there saying, oh, let's hurry up and vote for a reality TV host. Not one who was like that. Now, if you had some education and you have been about it in terms of your activism, in terms of your advocacy, in terms of your giving, in terms of your legislation, we'll usually rock with that. I said, can we talk? Let us reason together. But that, no, never that. We do like to think with the right and left side of our brains. We would never do that. That's what we don't do. Yeah. We usually vote for the ones who are legislating on our behalf or close to it. Yeah. Because we know political parties are not the end. It's just a means to an end. Yeah. No, we didn't do that. You're right, Mac. We didn't do that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. 12 million Americans have lost sponsored healthcare insurance. Big swatches of businesses have shut down, including 100,000 restaurants. Okay, no, we didn't do that. No, African American people we don't play like that. We don't play like that. Most of us, for the people who did vote for them, okay, whatever. That's your right to vote. You're privileged to vote. It's your privilege to vote. But I don't know what they were looking at. But whatever, that's what they chose. And it's the reality of the situation here today, so deal with it. I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. At the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. At the end of the day, the math does not lie. At the end of the day, the science don't lie. At the end of the day, the legislation does not lie. at the end of the day. The votes of yes and no can be proven. Yeah, 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 that's right. So this where the money at with the wealthy. The stock market in which billionaires have much of their money invested dropped sharply the month before the pandemic lockdown, but we saw what that one Senate, we saw what those Congress people were up there doing some Congress, and some people in the Senate was up there doing moving money around, insiders trade, and yeah, that's what we call it. Even though they tried to say no, we wouldn't, but whatever. But the 6 months of gains that followed were not merely a reversal of those losses. Billionaires are also 608 billion or 22% richer today than they were in February 2019, because when we looked at the chart, remember, it's a comparison and contrast to the wealth they amassed or had last year as opposed to today. 22% wealthier coming out during a pandemic than they were before the pandemic. And you can kind of say, well, I can see Walmart, but not even them, because they don't manufacture masks or PP, personal protection equipment. Let's say just started. See, I can see if it was somebody who was manufacturing coming out on top during the pandemic. We understand technology because people had to be at home. We can even understand that a little bit. But for everybody else, no. No. So here it is. Do I need to blow this up a little more? Oh, you're talking about Oscars? I don't even do the Oscar. Oh, Letha, you said you back. You lost it. Okay, y'all lost it, and some y'all talking to each other, whatever. Oh, Letha, you said he failed his part, no Oscar. Okay, that's what you're saying. You're talking about Pinocchio, number 45. I get it now. All right. Wealth of U.S. billionaires at 6 months and 20 months. Here we go. To the right is 2019. To the left is 2020. February 2019 to September 2015. And on the left is March 18, 2020 to September 2020. So you can go through here and you can look at where they started and what they have today. I mean, Jeff, Bill Gates, Mark, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Larry Ellison, who's Oracle, by the way, Steve, Microsoft, Larry, Sergio, we all know that's Google, Alice, Jim, we know that's Walmart, Michael Bloomberg, he done lost some money, Daniel Jabert, Quicken Loans, these billionaires. This where they at. Jeff, Amazon, his wealth then grew 64% since the pandemic. Bill Gates, 18.7%. Mark Zuckerberg, his wealth has grown 83.9%. Elon Musk, His wealth growth, 273.8%. Mr. I want to put a chip inside your brain, the diabolical vile one, that Elon Musk, Tesla. Mr. They're using my aircraft to go out of space. And you do know they just used his aircraft to go out of space, right? Warren Buffett, 23%. That Elon Musk, 273.8% wealth growth during this pandemic. Like, what in the world? I've never cared for Elon Musk. That slick stuff he said about African American people and people who are involved with Black Lives Matter. Now, who name I don't see on this list is who was the one they always talking about is funding Black Lives Matter, Soros, whatever his name is. I don't see him on here. Anyway, can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. All right. Larry Ellison, that's Oracle, 34%. Steve Ballmer, Microsoft, 36%. Nope, 35.5%. Larry Page, that's Google. And Sergio, Larry Page is 36%. Sergio is 37.2%, though that's Google. Alice, Tim is 19.3%. Jim, 18.5%. Rob Walton, 19%. That's Walmart. Okay. This is the percentage points their wealth has jumped since the pandemic. This is percentage they've increased by in wealth since the pandemic. This percentage their wealth has gone up. What they have amassed during this pandemic. McKinsey, which is Amazon also, 66.3%. Michael Bloomberg, Bloomberg LP, we know he was running for president, 14.4%. Daniel Jabert, Quicken Loans, well, Quicken Loans, who had to be sued under President Obama a few times for all that predatory lending. During this pandemic, his wealth didn't increase by 672.1%. Let me say that again. His wealth has increased by 672.1% during this pandemic. And that's just them. That don't include the rest of the billionaires. Say it was 643. That's been taking home big bank been taking little bank, big bank been getting bank. Okay, Mac. Letha, you looking like what? So 845 billion wealth gain by 643 billionaires in the past 6 months. Mitch McConnell, 300 billion in new pandemic relief. That's what he wanted to do. and a skinny bill that the Republicans was trying to push through that failed for lack of support in the Senate. Some senators got a little scared because their seats are up for grabs and figured they could do something in the moment when they should have been doing something for the last 4 years. Anyway, failed last week. 2-year estimated budget gap for all state and local governments, a figure that runs from 500 billion for all levels of government to 555 billion. Listen, these billionaires got the money. They got the money. Quit playing. Okay, this was his skinny deal, which I didn't care to read because I knew it was trash. All right. My perspective, it was a bunch of trash. One in there, people. Quit playing. Okay. The House, Democrats passed the bill, the one I keep talking about, the HEROES Act, in May. This is what they were doing. 500 billion in direct aid to state governments for the next 2 years for critical services, services that are mandatory necessary. We know what those are. 375 billion in direct aid to local governments. So you get state government getting money, state level, and then locally. Okay, so you got the regional, then you got it locally, going to cities, all right? For the next 2 years for critical services. Now, this is the bill that I didn't break down and go piece by piece on it because it passed the House in May, but it did not pass the Senate. The Senate said it was dead on arrival. They have not even looked at it. They've not looked at it. They've not brought it to the floor. They've not even had discussion on it to bring it to the floor to debate it. They've none of that. And they came out and tried to do this little skinny bill that died for lack of support in the Senate. Oh, well. Okay, so in the HEROES Act, also what the House had in there was $117 billion in increased federal Medicare funding for the next 2 years, and they need to put more money in that. We are in a pandemic. For Medicaid, more money needs to go in there because now you have a host of people unemployed, uninsured. For the people who do get unemployed or have to go on unemployment, it's so much time before the employers stop paying their insurance. Okay, and that's cut. Well, not only that, we're in a pandemic, so they need to get the numbers right. When it comes to Medicaid and Medicare, should be well over $80 billion plus going in there. Really, when it comes to medical, should be right there at $1 trillion and trending upwards, going upwards in terms of the money that needs to be in there. Again, we are still in a pandemic. Okay, and they did 90 billion for public schools, K through 12. More should be there too. Got to put more in their education. Now, okay, like I said, this passed the House in May, died in the Senate. The Senate ain't even take it up. They ain't even voted, so can't even say it did. It died on arrival. They said whatever. Now, Bernie Sanders and Omar, Democrat of Minnesota, introduced legislation for a 60% tax on the pandemic wealth gains of billionaires between March, because they gain all that money. Bernie Sanders, the independent, and Omar, the Democrat from Minnesota, introduced legislation. They said, listen, y'all got all this money. Y'all done made $12 trillion. We want 60% of that. And we're going to prorate it back to March. Yeah, give us 60% of that wealth y'all done got during this pandemic. I like it. You know I like it. You know I like that 60% tax on the pandemic wealth gained by billionaires. Come on, stop playing. Why not? They were given tax breaks. All you doing is, in part, is taking some of them tax breaks back and making them pay just a little bit of taxes of what they gain. So they need to pass this. Quit playing. They need to jump on board and go ahead and pass this and hit them with that 60% tax on pandemic wealth gains for the billionaires, the 643 of them. Yes. Run the money. Woo. I know people will be watching this that's got a little bit of money, be like, oh no, we want all the tax breaks we can get. If you make more, you should pay more in taxes, period. End of story. End of discussion. Simple. You know, Warren Buffett said it best years ago when he said, I'm a billionaire and my secretary and my workers pay more in taxes percentage-wise than I do. That's crazy. So I'm for the billionaires who made all that money since the pandemic being taxed at 60%. That's right. Now, here's the breakdown. The Heroes Act, HR 680. This is the way that they wanted to. This is the breakdown. Okay. U.S. House of Representatives Appropriations Committee in the House, Speaker Pelosi office, local government data was summed for each state. And this is the way that they broke it down. And let's go back and blow it up. All right, again, this is the Heroes Act that was passed in the House. Blow it up a little bit more. Can nobody see that? I might have blown it up too big. No, I didn't. Still a little bit little to me. Here we go. I need to be able to see. This little right carrying on. All right, so here's the breakdown, state by state: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, DC, Florida, Georgia. And what they did was, for every state, direct grants to state governments, direct grants to localities, okay, Medicaid funds to state, and education funds to state. So they broke it up line by line item, what would be what per state. Okay. And this is the breakdown. All right. Okay. And they dated it June the 12th, 2020. Like I said, they passed it in May. And the date that the tentative date that they put on here is because they knew school would be starting back. So they wanted to get some type of fundings out there prior to school starting back. But again, Senate has not even looked at this. is dead in the Senate. Okay, here's the breakdown. Like I said, here's the breakdown per state. Okay, and New York should be getting more because they have, well, they pay the most in taxes. They have more people. But it's California at? Let me go back up and see what California. Before I go back up and see what California, let me see what Kentucky is slated on here to get. No, Kentucky shouldn't be getting that much. They're the third most taken in state. Don't play. States that pay the most out in taxes are New York, California, Illinois. Don't play. Ooh, don't play. Yeah, California and New York should be around the same. Oh, and Jersey. Yeah, so this is the way that they broke it down. But again, this right here is dead in the Senate. So this was the breakdown of the distribution, the way funds would be distributed in the HEROES Act. I'll just leave that there for a minute for you to look at the sports team. You saying sports team and news network, social media included. Well, Mac, you know what they're doing. Congress is going after social media now. A lot of social media platforms, because again, unfortunately, Russia has been hacking the US, and the FBI came out and confirmed that the same set of hackers, which is Putin, that hacked Hillary Clinton, is the same group that went after Joe Biden and that's been over here hacking the United States of America. This time, not only have they been hacking, there's been a lot of Russians out with a bunch of fake news on social media, pushing the same propaganda that they did almost 4 years ago. Okay, so be careful when you are reading social media posts and news articles on social media posts and information that people are putting up on social media channels, as well as blog sites, as well as websites. But what's happening now is they want to hold the tech companies responsible and accountable for what they're allowing on their platforms. See, for years they've been pushing back on it, you know, especially Zuckerberg. And they really going after Mark Zuckerberg real hard, and I don't blame them. They're going after him with a vitriol. That what Gail said, with a vitriol. Okay, let me stop. Let me leave her alone because she was sounding like my mom. My mother. My mother is extremely articulate. Okay. But my mother is more articulate than that. I'm not even going to fake the funk and hold it up. Now Zuckerberg, because he allowed in Twitter, and Twitter started ringing in on it, but Mark Zuckerberg allowed so many fake articles to be pushed on his platform for profiting sake, because he was getting a bunch of cash. So he really didn't care until he got called out on it. And he really didn't care when he got called out on it because he thought he was going to get a pass. But now this year, up in Congress, it's like, ooh, Now they're not playing with them. They're not playing with these social media platforms because they see how detrimental and serious it is. And to me, and for me, it has always been serious because it's a security issue. Information security. Everything to me is either going to be on a secure side, or a threat to security, to data security. Secure, non-secure. Threat, no threat. Fake information is a data security issue. In technology, we have what's called CIA. Confidentiality, integrity of the data, and the availability of the data, the accessibility of that data. All that's vital in our triad of security and technology, which is called CIA. Confidentiality, integrity, accessibility. So data integrity is not where it should be in the United States. Unfortunately, a bunch of fake articles and fake news is out here again. If I took you to a channel right now, you could just look at it on YouTube, some of these channels now, and all you see this channel, what they've thrived on, and they almost get 1 million views, almost close to 500,000 views every time they post something. It's fake. Fake. All the information is fake. And I see a bunch of people under this channel comment. Some are Americans, some are not. Some are Africans, some are from other countries, but the news is fake. None of their information is accurate. None of it. They'll post videos and videos of people, like I show videos here, news clips or whatever article, and then they do their fake analysis to it, assessment onto it. It's been fake stories about Dr. Fauci, fake stories about Donald Trump wanting, being in support of coronavirus and all this fake stuff that is a lie. Then I go to other channels and they on some fake stuff too. No integrity with the information that they're posting. None. It's fake, 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 fake. Then I go on other channels. And it's some channels are, drama. And I'm thinking, woosah, dramatically fake channels. Let me say that. They own some drama, and all the stuff that they bring in is fake, and it's about somebody else's business. Don't even include them at all. It has nothing to do with them, nothing to do with the economy, nothing to do with nothing but just being in somebody else's business from sun up to sundown. And they be getting 1 million views, just drama. And they don't even bring some of these channels, no data integrity, no journalistic integrity, no reporting integrity. The stuff that they're saying is a lie, fake, no integrity. Social media platforms. Now, circling back around to say, now they're going at the social media platforms for all this fake stuff that they're allowing, and they are no longer allowing them to blame it on AI, artificial intelligence, because at the end of AI, you have real humans setting the parameters for your platforms. So you're not going to be able to blame it on the machine learning, deep machine learning. You're not going to. Congress finally woke up and got a little smart in terms of that. They should have been there a long time ago, in my opinion. Circling back around to, can we reason together? Can we talk? The money went to the wealthy people. The money's still been going to the wealthy people who've been borrowing the money? The wealthy people. Who've been getting the tax break? The wealthy people. Who's sitting up on all the money? The wealthy people. Who's been prospering the most and profiting the most during the pandemic? The wealthy. Over here in the United States, the wealthy. Then you get silly Republicans coming in telling you you don't need nothing, they lazy, they la 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 la. No. No, send them home. Send them home. Y'all need to send them home. They're not from my, I'm gonna vote the way I need to vote in my state. But as we vote, circling back around to voting, I need the rest of the states to do what y'all need to do and send them clowns home. Send them greedy clowns home. Send them slowful, greedy clowns home. Let me make it plain. Send the slowful, greedy clowns home. They didn't profit enough. They've profited enough. Okay? Their buddies have gotten enough. Send them home. So we see where the money is at. Democrats need to listen to Michael Steele in terms of having more strategy. Woke and win. You need to be woke and win. Technology companies. Beijing may not sell TikTok or let TikTok go like the United States think it's gonna go. Bar is just being so foul, unfortunately. Now, can we talk? Can we talk? Can we really talk? Can we reason together? Can we reason? You say you only believe Trump administration when they contradict his statements. They trying to make TikTok a villain. People love TikTok, and this is going to be the issue. Now, I'm veering away from the topics, but still going over the topics because we discuss technology, just not technology in depth. Well, take a little swig of my juice. Okay. This is going to be the issue with TikTok. This is an issue. This is going to be an issue. For every tech company, you have your patents. You have your designs. You have the layout of your designs. It gets so detailed till you have your coding, your programming language for your app. Let me go here. It's me talking now. You have your programming language for your application. And so it becomes technical in terms of, what is Oracle acquiring? Okay, because Beijing can be like, hold up. We're the proprietor of that app. That means we have sole ownership in that app. That's us. That means the programming language, the design, our layout, our intellectual property, everything all inclusive in the app, we created that. So with Oracle and Microsoft / attempting to acquire whatever, that gets extremely technical because they don't have to let their stuff go. You have stepped into an entirely different ball game when you talk about acquiring an app from a foreign country. Now you want some different stuff, because even with Microsoft, and Microsoft would sue you, especially back in the day, over all of their code and programming language, whatever, because it's certified. so everything belongs to them. No redistribution, none of that. All that's theirs. Can't your design can't be similar to theirs, nothing. Facebook is good at this. The reels, how they took TikTok and made their reels similar to what TikTok going on. I said Facebook is good at stealing other people's intellectual ideas, not being original. So the deal with TikTok is, in terms of China being a foreign nation, you go off into their intellectual property now and their intellectual rights. And how is that going to be negotiated? Because TikTok was not a US software app. It's a China software app. So now you start getting into some specific areas. We'll see how it goes, because Beijing said not so quick. Not so quick. Not so quick, US. Slow your roll, pump your brakes, hold on. Slow this down a little bit, because we're getting ready to go there. So we'll see how that goes. But in terms of WeChat, the judge jumped in and said, quit playing. Y'all not banning WeChat. Sit down somewhere. That's what they said to the Trump administration, my own words. Have a seat. Sit yourself down somewhere. While I'm right there, let me pull this video up from when Pinocchio number 45 got set down almost 4 years ago when he came to Michigan. And this Black female pastor set him down. Let me pull that up, because some judges doing that too. They saying sit down is enough. Somebody should have been told him to sit down a long time ago. But when we talk about COVID-19 money, circling back around to the COVID-19 money, veering away from the technology talk, billionaires been making the money. Billionaires in the tech company, billionaires straight across the board. That's where the money at. Not only have they been making the money, they've been borrowing the money. Millionaires and the billionaires. Millionaires been borrowing the money. Oh, I'll take that off. Let me pull this one. Here it is. See if this comes up in the background. Okay. All right. I got this video pulled up. Since we're talking about Pinocchio number 45 getting set down as a flashback, this is just something extra I'm throwing in. This is a pop-up. When he was in Flint, Michigan. Let me blow it up, because this lady set him down. I remember when this hit the news over 4 years ago. I said they need to, I wonder if she's still living. I said, because see, somebody should have sent her to the White House a long time ago, so she could have set some people up there down. They need to be set down, because they've been on slick stuff and foolishness and mess.
rally. It was a crowd of about 70 people. He started talking with them. Some tried to ask him questions. He wasn't interested in answering their questions. He turned his talk to politics, and that's when the Reverend Faith Green Timmons stepped in.
Hillary failed on the economy, just like she's failed on foreign policy. Everything she touched didn't work out, nothing. Now Hillary Clinton.
Mr. Trump, I invited you here to thank us for what
Okay.
not
Okay.
to give a political speech.
Okay, that's good. Then I'm going to go back on the flip. Okay. Okay.
There was even more controversy
Okay,
and confusion
and the other
for
lady,
Donald
so
Trump.
when he
Maybe
came,
left
when he
town
rode
early,
up into 4 years, when he rode up into Michigan with that foolishness, you saw the way she set him down. It's the Michigan way. We don't, most churches in Michigan, especially African-American churches, we don't play that, never have, never will. Most African-American churches anyway, from back in the day, they, sit you down in a minute, don't care who you are. Have a seat. Okay, you just got off topic. That's not what we called you here to do. You saw the way she rolled up there, walked right on that stage. That ain't what you up here for. And here, they'll cut that microphone too. See, they want to play. I said, can we talk? Can we really talk? Let us reason together. I would have cut his microphone a long time ago. As soon as he started lying, I would have cut that microphone, cut his mic, shut it all the way down. That's right. And we told the news media, excuse me, we have to get some things together right now. We're having some technical and psychological difficulties. Hold on, we'll be right back. See, they want to play. Michael Steele said it best in the beginning. Stop treating him like he's a legitimate president. And come out and fight. Whew. Okay. Again, wrapping this up. You know where the money's at with the billionaires. Newsflash to the traditional workers. I don't care what type of money you're making on your job. You're still a worker. You're not the boss. You're not the owner. Stop going back and forth with people on your job. Stressing your own self out. For what? Again, unless they approach your persons and you fending for yourself or responding. That's different. But you know, you get those little people on the job who think they're the boss, but they're not the boss. Stop. WeChat, they banned that. States where he was trying to mess with the mail, judge has been shutting that down too. Right on, right on. Mitch McConnell, they was up on the Hill today debating whether the judge seat was going to be taken or not. But we heard what Mitch McConnell said years ago when President Obama was in office, right? About a judgmentship. But we'll get there on No Nonsense News. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that tonight. He didn't got enough talk time and airplay over here tonight during this live stream. We'll save him for another day. Again, the billionaires got the money. You saw the numbers, right? We saw the numbers. Play it back, slow it down. Look at the numbers. Play it back, slow it down. Watch the money. Look at the numbers. And don't let your Congress, man or woman, play a game on you. House and the Senate. No. Tell them, shut that foolishness down. Time to pull the plug on that mess. Quit playing. Make them get straight to the point. You're either going to legislate for me or you're not. It's either going to be for people or it's not. And as soon as I start seeing all them tax breaks in there, it's a no deal. No deal. Nope. No deal. Non-negotiable. Non-starter. Simple. Walk away. Right. Media is fault. Yeah, the media is partially at fault, Mac, because they sat up here and kept covering these lies. I would have shut that down. Told them, look, we're not going to cover him all day, every day up there lying. Please. We're not doing that. And they continue to do that and let him bully them. No. And be belligerent and responding to them extremely condescending. And I would have said, if condescending is what you want, condescending you shall get today. If that's the way you rolling, okay. Now they should have just flat out told him, you a lie. You lying. You a liar. Now you lying. How many lies you gonna tell? Stop lying. Now, yeah, when that President Obama, flashback to when President Obama was doing the State of the Union speech, and one of the congressmen then they're gonna tell him, was he in the Senate or the House? Anyway, gonna sit up there and tell him during the speech, addressing the nation, you a lie, liar. Where's that one at for Trump? The news media should have, they trying to be all nice. I would have said, no, now you're lying. Like Michael Seal said, you got to shut that foolishness down. They should have shut it down a long time ago and already told him, y'all done took too much time letting him run game and play these games up here and come with all these shenanigans and antics. Call it what it is. You're lying. Now, they should have went straight there. My team, this is what you're going to say. Listen, you lying? So you lying? This is what we're going to do. Stop the camera. Let's roll. Now get ready to sit up here and waste our time on these lies. You wasting time now. You wasting our time. You just wasted our time. Sitting up here lying. Roll out. Let the rest of them go. Integrity is more important. Move. Now see, if the news media would have stopped covering the lies, some of these lies he's been telling a long time ago, and stop giving him all this airtime. Stop giving him all this airtime. What's the possibility he would have dialed that mess back some? But no, they've been letting him have his way for 4 years and be belligerent towards them while having his way and belittle them. Instead of saying, who you talking to? When he wanted to address certain reporters, male or female, because I already know I would have said, who you talking to? No, you have to look around, who you talking to? I know you're not talking to me like that. And I don't have a twin. So that's what he should have did that a long time ago. Mac, you said you would have been told him to kiss your derriere a long time ago. So with that being said, let's remember, billionaires getting all the money. They still making all the money. The wealthy people been borrowing the COVID-19 money. We don't know if they've maintained their workers like they were supposed to for the Careless Act bill, the CARES Act. We don't know that. I'm still waiting on that paperwork. People have been stealing. They've been getting caught. Those who have been stealing that unemployment money from these states, they've been getting caught. They on their way to prison after their trial. But the corporations that's been stealing, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for their trial. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Before I get off, let me say this. If you want to have evergreen content, let me say it again. If you want to have evergreen content on social media, it needs to fall into the guidelines of real integral entertainment, educational, informative, the way you have evergreen content on social media platforms. Before I get off, and this is for free. What is evergreen content? Content that will always, for the monetized people on any platform that you're on. If you always want to make money, because that's what evergreen content is, on your live streams or on your post from years to come, that's what evergreen content is. It'll still be making you money years later. Entertainment, real entertainment, integral entertainment, informative, information, educational, training, or how-tos, and music, which is still entertainment, different forms of entertainment. That's how you get evergreen content for years to come on social media. People will still be viewing it years to come. How to do this, how to do that. Something educational, something informative, something teaching, training, or some different forms of entertainment. That's how you get evergreen content on social media platforms. Because the billionaires are taking the money right home. If you want some of that evergreen content on here during this pandemic, that's what it is, and that's where it is. That's evergreen content. Teaching somebody how to do some how-to, show-to, music, entertainment, art. That's what the evergreen content is. So, to people going back and forth with other people posting all this fake news, that's not evergreen content. YouTube and Facebook and all the rest of these platforms getting ready to take that and shut that mess down. They're going to have to. They're going to be forced by Congress. And there go your dimes and your dollars and your thousands or whatever you was making, getting ready to get shut down. So, that's for free. Merge yourself over if you are monetized into real evergreen content that won't get flagged or shut down because it's fake. That won't get flagged or shut down because it's cantankerous. And that was for free. You said tell Trump. Listen, I'm ready to roll the pumpkin, the pious pumpkin, that's what I call a bar, out, right along with the rest of them. Lock him up, lock them up. They should be locked up when you look at their records. All right, with that being said, you all, thank you for streaming. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant night. I will cover the topics that Letha wanted me to cover on No Nonsense News whenever we go back there, as well as some other topics we got to get to. And one topic we're going to get to on No Nonsense News is going to be Russia. Again, I need to know, is this administration for America or for Russia? But I'm going to make my case. All right, with that being said, you all have a pleasant evening and a pleasant night. Bye-bye, everybody.